Hello, YouTube. Well, thank you very much for 500 subs. It is official. Did reach the 500 sub mark as of earlier today. So I did want to say thank you for that. I do appreciate it. It means a lot. It's been an amazing journey, and I just want to say thank you for the support. And I'll continue making videos and guides and stuff as I am still uploading Twitch VODs and stuff here and there, and the continuation of the Lotr content. But as I promised, I also said that I had a special announcement for when we reached 500 subs. So the special announcement is that I am working on a Lord of the Rings animation project for you guys. So those who've been part of the channel for a long time may remember the Ballin's Expedition videos that I did, where I took a script that I wrote years ago back in college, and I kind of turned it into like a narration storytelling format into like I think it was like 9 or 10 episodes for YouTube. So I'm taking that story and I'm turning it to an animation project. Super excited for it. What the end goal is of course to take the full script, the full story, and to turn that into the full animation project. So if you haven't seen it or you have no idea what I'm talking about or even knew that I wrote that story, uh, you can. It is still on the channel. You can just search Ballin's Expedition. There's like I said, 9 or 10 episodes. Excuse me. I'll put a link to the first episode in the description, and I'll probably tie this video to the playlist of the full Ballin's Expedition for the time being. But yeah, so the end goal would be to take the full story that I wrote and make an animation series out of it. That is of course a massive undertaking. That is the end goal. But in the meantime, before that happens, if we even get close to that happening, before that happens, what I wanted to do is make different snippets, little mini 5 to 10 minute episodes, just to start, just to share the story and show the potential of the story, um, and sharing it with Lord of the Rings fans. With a focus, these snippets would be the key moments that Tolkien talked about or mentioned in the book of Mazarbul, the specific book that Gandalf reads, that the body of Ori is holding, right? Drums in the deep that are coming. In the book, it specifically mentions Flowy fighting and fighting a great warrior and dying at the East Gate. So we could do a snippet of that. We could do um, the discovery of Durin's axe and Durin's armor, because of course Balin gets Durin's armor, Owen gets Durin's axe or Ziegelberg, right? Maybe showcasing his encounter with the Watcher, or even showing where the Watcher came from Moria, what happened, what did the lake look like before the Watcher showed up, and then the Watcher's in the lake, how did it kind of overflow, what were the problems there, and then the encounter between the Watcher and Owen. And of course, showing I made them three brothers, but Tolkien mentions Frar, Loni, and Nolly at the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. So showcasing that, and then of course showcasing Ori's kind of final stand in the chamber of Mazarbul or Balin's tomb, and meeting his demise there. I also wanted to showcase kind of the beginning of Moria, like it's Durin's discovery of Moria through the Lake of Miramir, the seven peaks, the crown, the stars, creating Moria, seeing Moria at the height of its power, Durin receiving one of the rings of power, and eventually helping the elves against Sauron after the Gate of Durin was built between Durin or Nafri. I can't remember the dwarf smith's name off the top of my head, but there's the one dwarf smith, and Celebrimbor, of course, making the gate of Durin, speak friend and enter, that whole thing. So showcasing the construction of that gate, building that friendship so that the dwarves do end up helping the elves against Sauron. Maybe even showcasing Celebrimbor being waved around like a banner before the dwarves ultimately retreat back into Moria, and then them shutting off Moria completely from the rest of the world and getting greedy, awakening of the Balrog, and Durin's final stand with the Balrog, and then the ultimate like fall and demise of Moria. So that's kind of all stuff that's on the list to show. Yes, the full series is in the works, but really a focus is on the rise and fall of Moria and all the events with that, and then the specific Tolkien mentioned moments that I do mention in my script that uh, we just kind of animate and flesh out and kind of play with a little bit. Um, yeah, so there is in terms of behind the scenes and who's working on it, it's just a team of two right now officially. It's myself and a friend of mine. Who he's going to be doing a bulk of the animation and the sound engineering stuff. I'll help out where I can, but that is not my expertise. I cannot animate. I cannot sculpt. My art capabilities in that regard are very very minor. Hopefully, I can learn more over time and help out more. But for the time being, I have no skills. I'll only slow him down. But I can do the editing and directing, and we'll get a couple of voice actors on the project as well. I do have a friend that is interested in making a soundtrack, some music for this project, which I think is going to be really cool. We'll play with the Song of Durin a little bit, so that'll be fun. Um, he hasn't officially agreed to do the project yet. He's interested, so we'll stay tuned for that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. So if you have no idea what the story is, like I said, you can check it out on the channel under Ballin's Expedition. It goes into, not only is it basically the entire script, but it goes into details about uh, me sending it to Amazon and what happened with them. And I do have to say also, for legal purposes, I have to stress that we are not taking money for this project. I'm not being paid. No one is being paid for this project. This is all fan made. It's done out of love and passion for Middle Earth. This will be released for free on YouTube. Won't take any monetization from it or anything. This is truly just a fan made project, because as soon as you start making money for a Lord of the Rings project, Tolkien Estate, of course, gets very, very upset. So, yeah, we're not taking money for it. There's no donations. No one's being paid, right? Uh, Got to say that for legal reasons. And then it is there in as a verbal contract on the internet. We're not taking payments or donations for this project. There's not going to be a GoFundMe or anything like that. Just keeping it nice and simple. If you perhaps decide to come to, let's say, my Twitch channel and donate to me personally, or support my specific channel on Twitch that way, great. What I do with donations is my choice, but we will not be accepting direct donations for this project. No fund me pages or anything like that. There's no Patreon, none of that stuff. Just wanted to share that I'm making this project, and I'm super excited to work on it. And I'm really excited. Hopefully by the end of October, but maybe closer to the end of the year, we can get a little like 3 to 5 minute teaser where we showcase maybe some scenes that we've been working on, or we'll put together like a little trailer of the overall idea of like, oh, here's Durin fighting the Balrog, this little 10 seconds of that. Here's them finding Durin's armor. Awakening of the Watcher, like quick little snippets here and there. Um, but just to showcase that something is indeed being worked on, let's go. I'll showcase a little. Here's our Durin. This is not the full. This is not the final, I guess, look of Durin. I still want to make some changes with his crown. I like an idea of making a seven pointed crown to represent the seven dwarf kingdoms. And the animation isn't perfect just yet, and it's just a model. Of course, his legs are they're kind of enveloping each other, but this is yeah, we are working on stuff. So this is kind of our first little look of Durin. Because one thing I do want to do is definitely I want to do the kind of the beginning of Moria's story with Durin looking into the lake and seeing the stars and the mountain peaks and all that stuff and his perceived crown. I think that's really fun and a good little lore stuff for you guys. But yeah, that's the special announcement. I'll continue to make updates for this project specifically when I can. They will be attached to this channel. When we're in a more productive state, I guess, or there's lots of stuff to actually maybe show, whether it's art or music or anything like that, I might make a separate channel just to further disconnect the I am not taking money for this project. This is a fan made project. So I'll make a separate channel that will just have um, the Ballin's Expedition stuff on it, but I will still make updates on this channel just to tell you guys what's going on, and I'll still show like a picture here and there kind of thing, and talk about what's being worked on. But yeah, thank you again for the support and the 500 subs, and hopefully this channel can just continue to grow. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.